Here's what we're going to do. We're going to walk up the hill.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you some goofy questions.
Okay.
You have 10 seconds to answer. First thing that comes to your mind.
That's a lot of pressure.
You can handle. I think you can handle
the
it.
play clock, was longer than 10 seconds.
I think you can handle it.
All right, here we go.
Up the hill with Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce. Travis, I think you're the only 3-time member of the Up the Hill Club. You've done this before. Got some goofy questions coming. Do you have any strange phobias?
Strange phobias? I used to have a really bad nightmare growing up of being in a room of balloons and not being able to get out, like trying to find the door in the balloons, and it's just like pushing balloons.
Yeah.
So a lot of balloons kind of get me a little like weird.
All right. If you could be teammates with anybody in history, what player would you choose to be teammates with?
Tony Gonzalez, baby.
There you go.
Me and Tony G wearing the Arrowhead Chiefs logo, baby. I don't know if that's stoppable right there.
If you could be any of the Marvel heroes, which one would you be?
Well, I'm really a Superman guy because I'm from Cleveland and that's where Superman was created. But Ant-Man, baby, Paul Rudd.
If you could play an NFL game anywhere and put a field there and play, where would you play?
Oh, man, that's pretty crazy. I don't know. The random island in Hawaii.
What was your welcome to the NFL moment?
Welcome to the NFL moment. Derrick Johnson in practice came off the ball and absolutely just ruined my day. I love you for that, Derrick. But DJ came through the hole and just gave me a good whack, and I realized, like, okay, even in practice, we're bringing it. This isn't we're not brothering it up or anything. We're getting better out here, and that really that changed the mind frame and just the concentration of how I went after practice from that point on.
That's Up the Hill with Travis Kelce. It's Up the Hill with Chiefs defensive lineman Chris Jones. Chris, if you could have dinner with any 3 people in history, who would they be?
Alicia Keys, my beautiful girlfriend, and I have dinner with God.
Okay. If you had to pick 3 teammates to survive the zombie apocalypse, which 3 teammates would you choose?
I'm taking TK Soul and Anthony Hitchens.
If you could be any of the Marvel heroes, which one would you be?
I'll be Superman, Man of Steel.
That's DC. Marvel. It's Captain America, Thor, Hulk.
I'll be the Hulk.
Yeah. That makes sense. Alan Bailey was the Hulk. If you could live in any movie ever made, what movie would you want to live in?
The Wolf of Wall Street, baby. The Wolf of Wall Street.
What would be the coolest place if they could put an NFL game anywhere? They could just plop a field down. Where would you want to play an NFL game?
Where I would want to play an NFL game, Aruba.
What's scarier, a truck-sized spider or a truck-sized snake?
Truck-sized snake, oh my God. Yeah, that's huge. That's a real deal.
If you could pick anybody in history to be your teammate, who would you pick and why?
I'll pick Brock Lesnar. He's a savage.
Do you have any weird phobias?
Yeah, I don't like being at the back of the van.
Okay.
Yeah, I get creeped out.
Do you have any foods that you like that nobody else likes?
Yes. My favorite dessert, Grand Marnier creme brulee.
There it is. That is it. Up the Hill with Chris Jones. All right, we are doing Up the Hill with Chiefs defensive lineman Derrick Nadi. Derrick, you've done this before, so you know the deal. If you could pick anywhere to play an NFL game, where would you choose to play the game?
Canada.
Where in Canada?
Quebec.
If you could pick any 3 people from history to have dinner with, alive or dead, who would you choose and why?
I want to say my grandfather. He was a chief back in Nigeria. I always want to meet him. Martin Luther King. Just get some more wisdom from him. And I can't think of a third one.
Do you have any weird phobias?
When I was a little kid, I was scared of dragonflies.
Are you still scared of dragonflies? If you could live in any football movie ever made, what movie would you want to live in?
Goodness. Oh my goodness. I guess The Day the Game Stands Tall.
Okay. What was your favorite pet growing up?
It's still the same pet, a pit bull.
Pit bull.
Mm-hmm.
What was Pitbull's name?
Oh, I got 2 of them. So yeah, there's Rocky and there's Saint.
All right, last question is, what was your welcome to the NFL moment?
Man, let's see here. It's a lot of things, honestly. it'll probably be the rookie duties. Rookie duty.
Carrying the helmets and all that.
And then some, yes.
How much fun is it not to be a rookie anymore?
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic.
All right, that's Up the Hill with Derrick Nadi. All right, this is Up the Hill with Chiefs offensive lineman Andrew Wiley. Andrew, if you could pick any player from NFL history to be teammates with, who would you pick and why?
Ooh, that is rough. I'll take Barry Sanders. I grew up a Lions fan. I would just love to block for that guy.
Do you have any weird phobias?
Being around an NFL locker room, there's a lot of nasty feet, and I would say just nasty feet is just not my thing.
If you could pick any of the Marvel heroes and you take over and be that person, who would you pick?
Ooh. These 10 seconds are just clicking in my head, too. I guess I just go Superman. You know, just
That's DC.
generic. Oh, you said Marvel? Definitely swinging that hammer then, going Thor.
That's pretty good. If you had to pick 3 teammates to survive the zombie apocalypse, which 3 teammates would you choose?
Wild. That's wild. Like ones I think would survive it, or just ones out? Okay.
Teammates for the zombie apocalypse.
Okay, I'll take Sherm. Trying to think of some party guys here. I'd take myself. And, you know, I guess we'll take Colquitt too. He's a pretty handy guy.
You know, in 3 years of asking that question, you're the first person who ever said yourself. So I
Hey,
love
I'm thinking
the
myself.
confidence. Love the confidence. If or what's scarier, a truck-sized spider or a truck-sized snake?
Snake.
Best trash talker you've ever gone up against?
Chris Jones.
If
Just right off the bat. Chris Jones.
all right, and last one. Let's see. Let's find a good one here. Who's the first NFL player you ever met?
Huh. I would probably say Calvin Johnson. I was young and we went to like a Detroit Lions preseason game and he was out there signing some autographs. Yeah, solid.
That's Up the Hill, Andrew Wiley. It is Up the Hill with Chiefs linebacker Reggie Ragland. Reggie, you've done this before. You know the deal. If you could be teammates with anybody in NFL history, who would you choose and why?
Man, I'm gonna go with Derrick Thomas.
Oh.
Yeah, cause Alabama roots, being who the guy that he was, and good football player. I heard he was a good teammate too. So just probably him.
If you could live in any football movie ever made, what movie would you want to live in?
Ooh, I got a couple. Varsity Blues and Longest Yard, the original.
Okay.
The original Longest Yard.
It's a Bob Jones High School version of Varsity Blues. I like it. What was the first car that you ever drove?
It was my daddy's, I can't think of the year, but it was a Cadillac. 5-star, I believe, 5.1, something like that. It was my daddy's Cadillac though.
What would be scarier, a truck-sized spider or a truck-sized snake?
A spider. Spiders just creep me out, period. Spiders.
If you had to pick 3 teammates to try and survive the zombie apocalypse, what 3 teammates would you choose?
Man, I'm definitely taking Frank Crazy Tail. I'm taking Hitch. And then I gotta get me an offensive player. I'm gonna go with Sammy. Yeah, Sammy.
What was your welcome to the NFL moment?
Probably when we played the Raiders. And no, it was a game against the Giants when I finally had my breakout game with like 8 or 9 tackles. That game there. Yeah.
And last question, you could have dinner with any 3 people in history. Don't have to be football related. What 3 people would you choose?
I'm gonna go with my crush since I was a kid, Jennifer Lopez. Then I'm gonna go with probably Selena, because that's one of my favorite movies with Jennifer Lopez. And I'm gonna bring my mama because she will enjoy the moment. My mama. So knowing who she is, my mama love it. So anything I've ever done for my mama ever gave her, she's always just enjoyed it because that's the type of lady she is.
Ending it strong. That's Up the Hill with Reggie Ragland. All right, it's Uphill with the voice of the Chiefs.
Wait a minute, I get to do Up the Hill? This is like the greatest moment of my life. I've wanted to do Up the Hill for a quarter century. Here we go.
Here come the tough ones. If you had to pick 3 Chiefs players to survive the zombie apocalypse with, which 3 would you choose?
Anthony Hitchens, Honey Badger, and Patrick Mahomes, because he would just like figure it out. Like he would like rechange the whole configuration of zombie apocalypse, and it'd be over, and he'd be like king of the world.
He'd fix it.
He'd fix it.
Because everything he does turns to gold. Who's the best trash-talking player you've ever been around?
Now they got to be a good player, because I've been around a lot of bad trash-talking players. Best trash-talking player, I don't know. Frank Clark's getting up there. I'm gonna put Frank in there maybe.
Best game you've ever called?
Ooh, well, from a standpoint of loving it, two tied, winning in Houston.
Yep.
Niall Davis, 106-yard kickoff return, native of Houston, blah, blah, blah. And then the Colt win, because we were going to lose to the Colts. They've won 1,000 games in a row, and we always lose to the Colts. Guess not. So those two. But really my first year is the one they still play in a kiosk in Canton, and that was Joe Montana beating John Elway on Monday Night Football.
You could play an NFL game anywhere. They could just plop a field down, kind of like what they're doing with Field of Dreams in Iowa. Where would you want to play an NFL game?
Hubbard Stadium, Smith Center, Kansas, home of the Redmen, baby. 10 state football titles. 15 Division I players. We're going for number 11. If the Redmen get it this year, my man Evan Miller, the Hammer, he helps me with this stuff with the Redmen. If they win it, they will have the all-time Kansas record. Put me back on that field, Coach. I want in.
Last question. What animal would be the most annoying if it could talk?
Well, my favorite animal of all time is the tapir. Very underrated, okay? The most annoying, if it could talk, would be the bird when I was visiting my daughter who was on a mission in Botswana that was right above my bed in the tent going, boop, boop. So I've lived this life, couldn't talk, but this bird, I'm trying to find it. Sorry, PETA, don't judge me. I'm trying to find this bird. And when I find it, all bets are off.
That is Up the Hill with the voice of the Chiefs, Mitch Holthus. Today we're Chiefs cornerback Rashad Breeland. Rashad, which one of your teammates could do the best Andy Reid impression?
87.
That is a popular name. What's the best barbecue in Kansas City?
KC Joe.
If you could live inside any movie ever made, what movie would you want to live in?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I'm not sure on that one. Remember the Titans?
Do you believe in aliens?
No.
If you could only watch one movie for the rest of your life, what movie would it be?
Friday.
Favorite pregame music?
Future.
You could have any superpower, what would it be?
Reading minds.
Best non-sports related skill that you have?
Making music.
What kind of music?
R&B, hip hop.
Best TV show of all time?
I say All American.
And last question, what was your welcome to the NFL moment?
My welcome to going against Larry Fitzgerald. Okay. Yeah, he gave me that welcome to the NFL moment for real.
That's Up the Hill with Rashad Breeland. All right, Up the Hill with Trent Green. Trent, which one of the current players do you think could do the best Andy Reid impression?
Oh, it's got to be an offensive lineman, right?
Yeah.
You got to think maybe Austin Reiter.
Okay.
You have to tuck the ponytail away, though.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Did you have any superstitions when you were playing?
I didn't have a set superstition. I mean, it was some guys, if they got knocked out of their routine, it like messed them up for the day. I had a routine that I did, but I just kind of went with the flow, and yeah, so no superstitions.
What pregame music got you going?
I was more of an R&B rap guy when I was a player. Now I'm more of a country music fan.
Okay.
But at the time, yeah, I was more R&B and rap.
Favorite football movie ever?
Man, God, there's some great ones. Brian's song, always it was like the tearjerker, but it was, Gale Sayers and Brian Piccolo. I mean, it's hard to go against Burt Reynolds in The Longest Yard, North Dallas 40, the original North Dallas 40. I can go, a lot of those.
What animal?
Any given Sunday? That was a good one too. Yeah.
What animal would be the scariest if it got blown up to the size of an elephant?
What animal would be the scariest if it got blown up to the size of an elephant? A tiger?
Okay. You can only watch one movie for the rest of your life. What movie is it?
Shawshank Redemption.
If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Wow. Fly. I think it'd be cool to fly. Yeah.
There you go. Up the Hill with Trent Green.
Where do you come up with these questions?
The internet. All right. Today we're with Chiefs safety Juan Thornhill. And just for the record, it's Juan and not Jawan, right?
Yeah, it's Juan.
You want people to know that?
It's Juan Thornhill, not Juwan Thornhill.
Juan Thornhill. Which one of your teammates that you've met so far could do the best Andy Reid impression?
I would say Kelce.
What is the best barbecue in Kansas City?
Jack Stacks.
Who's your training camp roommate?
Fenton. Rashad Fenton.
What's the best thing about having him as a training camp roommate?
He goes to sleep really early, so he's always sleeping when I get to the room.
Toughest player you've ever faced?
In college or ever? Probably Tyreek Hill.
Really?
Yeah.
What if you could live in any movie ever made? What movie would you want to live in?
Like Mike.
What is your biggest pet peeve?
When people put their hands on me and like hit me, I just don't like it.
What if you celebrate a touchdown and they're like patting you on the back?
But that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Yep.
Are aliens real?
I believe in aliens. I do.
Have you had a welcome to the NFL moment yet?
Yes, actually, when what was it? Like when I got to the thing at the stadium, like when I had to meet with all the fans and everything. I mean, it was just pretty amazing, honestly.
All right, if they were to make a movie about your life and you got to pick the 3 moments that were in the trailer, what moments would those be?
It would be me getting my first offer to Virginia, draft day, and then my first practice here.
Awesome. That's Up the Hill. This is Up the Hill with Chiefs rookie wide receiver Cody Thompson. Cody, which one of your teammates could do the best Andy Reid impression?
Travis Kelce, for sure.
I think he's the only one who's been given votes so far. What's the best movie you've ever seen?
Best movie I've ever seen. Hardball.
If you could only listen to one song for the rest of your life, what song would that be?
One song. Oh gosh. That's something with Drake. I don't know. I can't pick one.
What is your biggest pet peeve?
Pet peeve. I'm kind of like a perfectionist, like with being like neat and tidy.
Okay. Do you believe in aliens?
Yeah, there's definitely probably something out there.
What animal would be the most annoying if it could talk?
A hippo.
They're gonna make a movie about your life. Who plays you in that movie?
Mark Wahlberg.
What is the one movie, if you could only watch one movie for the rest of your life, what would it be?
One movie. Gosh, it's a tough. A Marvel's movie. I don't know. I love the Marvel's movies.
Perfect. You could blow up any animal to the size of a rhinoceros. What would be the scariest?
Prime Mantis for sure.
Who is your training camp roommate?
Mecole Hardman.
What's the best thing about having Mecole Hardman as a roommate?
High energy, funny dude. Just a good guy to be around.
That's Up the Hill with Cody Thompson. Today with Chiefs offensive lineman Khalil McKenzie. Khalil, which player on the team could do the best Andy Reid impression?
Ooh. That's tough. Travis Kelce. Yeah.
Who's the toughest player you've ever faced?
Toughest player. I mean, shoot, we got a lot of tough ones on this team. Definitely, Chris is a tough guy to go against day in, day out. Big, strong, and fast, so, athletic.
How would you explain Twitter to somebody from 20 years ago?
Ooh, it's like sending text messages to everyone. I guess. Yeah.
You could have dinner with anybody in history. Who would you have dinner with?
Oh man. Probably. Golly, this is hard. Julius Caesar. There you go.
Funniest teammate?
Ooh, funniest. Why are these so hard? Andrew Wiley. It's my roommate. Shout out Wiley.
Scariest movie you've ever seen?
Ooh, Hereditary. Came out last year. Terrifying.
You can only listen to one song for the rest of your life. What song are you listening to?
Goodness. Baby Shark.
All right. And have you had a welcome to the NFL moment?
Yeah, the first day of camp last year. You're out here, it's a grind, going through everything. That's definitely a welcome to the NFL moment.
That's Up the Hill with Khalil McKenzie. Today we are doing Up the Hill with Chiefs rookie wide receiver Mecole Hardman. Mecole, which one of your teammates could do the best Andy Reid impression?
Probably Patrick, if invited.
Who is your training camp roommate?
Cody Thompson.
What's the best thing about Cody Thompson as a training camp roommate?
He's quiet. He stayed to himself.
What's the best Kansas City barbecue that you've had?
Casey Jones.
What's the toughest player you've ever faced?
DeAndre Baker.
What has been your welcome to the NFL moment?
Probably Pat overthrowing me multiple times, Just gotta keep running, you know. That's probably my wake up mode.
What would be the most annoying animal if it could talk?
Annoying animal?
Yeah.
A fly.
Okay. What would be the scariest animal if it got blown up to the size of an elephant?
Like a lion or something, alligator maybe. I don't know.
What's the best football movie ever made?
The Express.
If you could live in any movie ever made, what movie would you want to live in?
That's tough. Movie? Probably something like a Justice League movie, like with Superman and them, you know?
Pre-game music, what are you listening to?
Lucci.
Best non-sports related skill that you have?
Fishing.
If you had to give a 30-minute presentation right now without any prep on anything, what could you do it on?
It's like, football. I don't know.
What's the strangest food that you like that other people don't like?
Chitlins.
That is Up the Hill with Mecole Hardman. Today we're with Chiefs center Austin Reiter. Austin, which player does the best Andy Reid impression?
Pat Mahomes.
Who is your training camp roommate?
Mitchell Schwartz.
What's the best thing about Mitchell Schwartz as being a camp roommate?
He's quiet.
Best Kansas City barbecue?
Ooh. They got to do a shout out for me they got to give me some free barbecue for that one. So whoever wants to do a promotion, I'm willing.
You hear that? That's an invitation, everyone. All right, toughest player you've ever faced?
Probably Aaron Donald.
Scariest movie you've ever seen?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
You can only watch one movie for the rest of your life. What movie is it?
Die Hard.
It's a great answer. What is your welcome to the NFL moment? Did you have one?
Kedrick Golston, D lineman.
What happened?
Just throw me down in walkthroughs.
That's Up the Hill. If you weren't covering the NFL, what do you think you'd be doing?
Covering college football in some form. I just love football, and I think just growing up in Wisconsin, Midwestern kid, football was sort of everything. So I feel so fortunate that I get to talk about football. So even if it's Pop Warner, I'd be doing something with football.
If you could only watch one movie for the rest of your life, what movie would that be?
Shawshank Redemption. That's an easy one for me. Great story about friendship. It shows you can have a great relationship anywhere and, make a best friend. So I just love the connection in that movie.
You and Trent are going to get along very well because he said the same exact thing. Wow. Best football movie you've ever seen?
I mean, I'm not a Notre Dame fan, but I kind of got to go with Rudy. It's just because it's based on a true story, and it's just such an inspirational story to show that guy had no athletic ability. You could actually work hard enough to make it. And I just think it's, for any kid who wants to play any sport, Rudy's a great, inspiring movie.
What have you learned about Chiefs Kingdom in the time since you were announced that you were going to be the play-by-play guy for the preseason?
What I found is the level of interest in this team, both locally and nationally, is just off the charts. I mean, when I've talked to people that I'm working for the Chiefs, people just start smiling. And I think it's the Patrick effect. He's a transcendent star. Like, people are going to know him on a first-name basis. We've got, Tom in the league, we've got Aaron in the league, and it's Patrick too now. And so I just think this is just thrilling. It's like a dream come true.
What's the strangest food that you like that not a lot of other people like?
The strangest food? Well, it's sort of a tough one. Let's go with, have you ever had a thing called gefilte fish? No. Yeah, it's like a spongy white fish that they sort of blend into the thing that you would never consider eating. Okay. But when I was in college, we had a thing called a gross eating contest, and that's what I got volunteered to eat, and I survived.
Ari Wolf, this was Up the Hill.